Welcome. In this playthrough of Marvel Championship card game, we take on the Rise of Red Skull Scenario 4 against ZOLA in Expert Mode. So for this playthrough, we'll be using ZOLA 2 and 3. The main scheme is going to have the Island of Dr. Zola and the Mad Doctor, and the encounter set is going to be Zola, Under Attack, and Standard and Expert. We're also going to have the experimental attachments put in there. And our hit points are at full health, so no need for us to go looking for an obligation. ZOLA, first one we're going to meet is Schema 2, Attack of 2, Retaliate 1. When revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile for the test subject side scheme and reveal it. So the test subjects, when defeated, the first player discards cards from the top of the encounter deck until they discard a minion, reveal that minion. So we're going to be starting with 4 threat out there. And then for the Island of Dr. Zola, search the encounter deck for Hydra Prison and reveal it. Each player searches the encounter deck for a copy of the Ultimate Bio Servant, puts it into play, engage with them, and then shuffle the encounter deck. So we're going to have a threshold of 6 per player. Force response, after resolving step 1 of the villain phase, place 1 test counter here. Then, if there are 3 or more test counters here, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a minion is discarded. Put that minion into play, engage with the first player, and remove 3 test counters from the scheme. So for the Hydra Prison, when revealed, each player searches their deck and discard pile and hand for a hero-specific ally and places it face down beneath the scheme. Place X threat on this scheme, where X is the total cost of all allies beneath it. Each player shuffles their deck. When defeated, remove this scheme from the game and return each ally beneath it to its owner's hand. So starting with 1. For Spider-Man, we have Black Cat, and Iron-Man, we have War Machine. So this is going to have 7 threat placed on it. And then the Ultimate Bio Servants, Scheme of 1, Attack of 1, they have Toughness. They get +1 attack for each attachment on it and 4 health. And Iron Man, I am sticking with Protection, so he's coming in with a basic thwart upgrade. His Adrenal Stems, which is attack, which will help my hand size. And he'll have Elektra and White Tiger shuffled into his deck. And Spider-Man, moving him over to Aggression. He's got his defense upgrade, a laser cannon, and Shang-Chi. All right, we've got the board set up. Finalize the encounter stack here. Peter Parker, 10 health, +3, so starting at 13. Going ahead and moved him over because hopefully Tony Stark gets built up quickly. So 6 cards here. Starting with Piercing Strike, the Hulk, Valkyrie, a Helicarrier, Backflip, and Energy. And then for Tony Stark, starting with 9 +2, he also gets 6 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Clea, helmet, some boots, energy barrier, Luke Cage, and the arc reactor. So we're going to discard these 2, see what else we can get. Helicarrier and Nick Fury. And I was happy with his starting hand. So we're going to use his free resource to bring in the Hulk for 1. Then we'll bring in the Helicarrier for 3. Going to flip over, attack over here to get rid of toughness. Then the Hulk's going to swing over here. Doing 3. Discard the top card of her deck, doing 1 damage to each character. So Zola down to 27. Remove Tough. Take this guy out. And then Spider-Man, Tony, and himself. Then we're going to draw 3 cards over here. Target acquired, Power of Protection, and a Repulsor Blast. Going for the Power of Protection, which could have been useful here just a second earlier to bring in the energy barrier. Gets 3 counters on it. When you would take any amount of damage, remove a reflection counter from here, prevent 1 of that damage, and deal 1 damage to an enemy. Going to make next card over here one cheaper. Guess I should have some threat up here. 4 on that one. 7 on this one. So we're going to bring in our helmet for free. Then Nick and the helicarrier is going to bring us an arc reactor. We'll go ahead and flip over. We're going to thwart for 3. Then use our helmet. Exhausted to remove a threat from a scheme. From each scheme if we have the aerial trait. Test subject's been taken care of. But when defeated, the first player discards cards from the top of the encounter deck until they discard a minion. Then reveal that minion. So could be going through our stack here. Yep. All right. We found Zola's mutate. So he's going to lead us to reveal discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until attack attachment's discarded. Now we're looking for tech. That's a weapon. Found some implants. Giving him +2 scheme, +2 attack, and +2 hit points. Not good for Spider-Man. We will ready and thwart for 3. And ender turn. So we're going to keep this for Iron Man and the backflip for Spider-Man. So 4 more cards over here. Web Shooter, Relentless Assault, another backflip, and some strength. Then Iron Man, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. So we're getting 4 more. Energy Barrier, Repulsor Blast, Electra, and another Energy Barrier. So Zola on his island, 2 threats. We add a counter. Initiates an attack here. We draw a card into combat training. So base 2, give the villain a tough status card. And we'll just go ahead and take that 2 damage. Then let this guy hit us for 1, down to 9. But this guy's swinging for 4. We will backflip out of that. Then attacking over here. We'll let it come. So base 2, 3, 4 damage coming in. We're going to take 3, down to 7, and redirect 1. And we'll put that on the mutate. Then encounter cards. Energy Shield. He's going to get Retaliate 1, so that means Retaliate 2. We can spend an energy and mental resource to discard that. And the next one, Defensive Programming. Attach to the minion with the most remaining hit points. So this guy's got 6 left. He gets +2 hit points and guard now. First player moves. We are going to thwart for 3. Then remove a threat. Taking care of the prison. So when defeated, remove the scheme from the game. Return each ally beneath it to its owner's hand. So Spider-Man gets Black Cat, and we're going to get War Machine. And we are going to bring in Electra, using him as the physical resource to deal 3 damage to an enemy. Then deal 3 more damage to an enemy. So 7 out of 9. Then already Iron Man. Going to bring out some rocket boots. Giving us +1 hit point. It's a hero action. We can exhaust this, spend a mental resource to gain the aerial trait until the end of the phase. So up to 8. Then Spider-Man's going to make our next card 1 cheaper to bring out an energy barrier. Then we will swing for 1. So that will end his turn. I'm going to do a relentless assault on the mutate using strength, so physical resources. Deal 5 damage to minion. If you paid for this using a physical resource, it gets overkill. So he's got 2 left. 3 breaks through. Maybe this isn't the best time to play it. Let's see here. Take that back a step. Before we do that, we'll have Hulk going to this guy for 3. And that's going to be deal 2 damage to someone, which we'll use on the tough. Now we'll go relentless assault with their strength. So he soaks up 2 here. Three breaks through. I'm going to bring out Black Cat. So these 2 resources. Or is that the way we want to do this? Yeah, we'll do it this way. So after she comes into play, discard the top 2 cards of your deck, add each card with a printed mental resource discarded this way to your hand. That'd be 0. I was hoping to get one to get this out at least. And thwart for 1. All right, ending her turn. Five cards, webbed up, times 2, Tigra, Shang-Chi, and a piercing, whoops, Shang-Chi. We're keeping that one. Then over here, we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Iron Fist, some boots, Mockingbird, Nova, Strength, Endurance, and a Supersonic Punch. So 2 threat. Another token. Attacking over here. We're letting it come for base 2. 3 damage. We're going to end up taking 1. And redirect twice. Down to 22. Attack here, drawing a card into a piercing strike. Then we will defend. 3 damage. Got a defensive 4, so we're good. Counter cards. Mind Ray. Hero form. Zola attacks you and you are stunned. All right, once again, 1, 2, 3 damage coming in. We'll take 1 and redirect the other 2. Down to 20. And over here, Master Plan. That's not good. Place 4 threat on each side scheme. If there are no side schemes to play, discard cards from the top of the counter deck until we find one. All right, so we are under attack. When revealed, each player chooses to either place 2 threat here or deal 3 damage to their hero. Go down to 6. We'll go down to 4. Redirecting 1. Down to 19. So that just gets 3. And first player. We're going to request an action from over here. Discarding a mental and energy resource to discard this card. Then we're going to play Webbed Up, paying 4. Hero form only, attached to an enemy, max 1 per enemy is a forced interrupt. When you would attack, discard Webbed Up instead, then stun that enemy. Then we're going to bring in Shang-Chi. Don't have any more resources to play, so thwart of 2, attack of 2, and 3 health. And he's going to thwart for 2. Hulk going to attack down to 16. Then deal a damage to everybody. So down to 15. And 5. And 3. Yep, that hurt. And of course, he's going to take his damage and another retaliate and be gone. Then Iron Man. Removing a threat from under attack. Thwarting for 3. Ready. Asked him to make the next card 1 cheaper. Going to give Endurance out to Spider-Man. Taking him up to 8. Then we are going to flip over, recover up to 6. Take a look at 3 cards. Pepper Potts is nice. But that's also, let's see. We're going to take the cheap armor and go ahead and put that in play. So put that under any player's control. As a response, after you defend against an attack, deal 1 damage to the attacking character. Helps us with tech. Helps him too, because we actually defend with him, but I want the card draw more. Then we're going to bring in Mockingbird. After she enters play, stun an enemy. So Zola's not attacking for 3 rounds. And Electro will go ahead and swing for 3, taking him down to 12. That will end her turn. So drawing 5 on this side. Some enhanced physiques, drop kick, another drop kick, and a relentless assault. Then 6 cards over here. Power protection, supersonic punch, endurance, defensive stance, awareness, and some gauntlets. So 2 threat. We're going to get our 3rd token. Once that happens, let's see. Discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a minion is discarded. Put that minion into play, engage with the first player, and remove 3 counters. So looking for a minion. Found the mutate, and since he's just put in play, when reveal does not happen. Then he's going to attack here. These cards have priority, so we remove the stunned. This guy does swing for 2. We're going to take it down to 6. Then scheming over here for base 2. Give him a tough status. So we're up to 4. Then encounter cards. So he found a laser rifle. When he attacks, he gets range, also +1 attack. And over here, ZOLA schemes, you are confused. All right, Tony, he's got problems. So scheming for 2. Place a test counter on the main scheme. He gets +1 scheme and attack for this activation. So 3, up to 7 there. And passing turn. So let's see what we got. We are going to heal for 3, up to 9. Use our ability. 1, 2, and 3. Want the resources, but I also want Black Widow. So we're going to pretend we're a genius. Then flip over and ready. Bring in some gauntlets. It's a hero action. It's an attack action. Exhaust to deal 1 damage to an enemy. Deal 2 damage instead if you have the aerial trait. So we're going to come in and do that. So we're attacking. So it's not becoming an attack. Just gets discarded. So retaliate does not trigger. Then we're going to use this to thwart. To not be confused. Then we will actually thwart for 3. Put in a defensive stance with the power protection. When you would take any amount of damage, discard this to prevent 3 of that damage. Then we're going to do a supersonic punch. Hero action, deal 4 damage to an enemy. Currently not aerial. So put 4 on him, then Mockingbird will swing for 1. Get rid of the mutate. Then Shang-Chi. Attack to get rid of toughness. Reduce the cost of the next card we play. Doing a drop kick. So deal 4 damage to an enemy. If you paid for this card using only physical resources, which we are, stun that enemy and draw a card. So 4 damage down to 8. Retaliated on. Stunned. And draw into a Nick Fury. Then we're going to flip over and recover for 3, up to 8. End our turn. Going to keep Nick Fury. Drawing 6. So, 2 swing and web kicks, spider sense, tracer, and the power of aggression. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still 7 cards over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Which gets us in the counter card. Got our Mark 5 armor, Quinn Carrier, her tower, repulsor blast, Brother Voodoo, White Tiger, and enhanced awareness. So 2 threat. Another token. Goes to attack, but he's stunned. Scheming for 3. So 9 out of 12. And counter cards. Shadow of the Past. If he was only in his other form. All right, so we're getting friends. So Whiplash. Schema 2, attack of 3, retaliate 1, and 4 health. Then Imminent Overload. When revealed, place an additional threat per player here, so that's coming out with 5. Then we're going to take these 3 cards and shuffle them in with these 3 cards. All right. So I guess that's what happens when you keep him webbed up. He calls in friends. So Berserker Mutate with Quick Strike. So we'll take the 2 damage. Then this card gains Surge. Caught off guard. Discard an upgrade or support you control. No cards were discarded this way. This card gains Surge. We will discard our laser cannon. And first player. So Peter Parker, using his resource, is going to bring in Nick Fury with those other 3. And with his ability, we're going to draw 3 cards. Nick Fury will swing for 2. And Black Cat for another 1. We'll flip over and swing for 2 on that one. Then we're going to go for a swinging web kick. So as a hero action, deal 8 damage to an enemy, which will take down ZOLA. He still has Retaliate in this version, so we're down to 7. Scheme of 3, attack of 2. When revealed, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a minion and reveals it. And that is going to be a mutate on this side with toughness. And this one on the other side with quick strike. So 2 damage coming in, down to 5 health. And he will have 32 to start with. So for Tony's turn, we're going to use our boots, discarding or spending a mental resource to gain the aerial trait. Then we'll remove a threat from each scheme in play. Mockingbird will thwart for 1. We're going to bring in the Quinn Carrier. So play only if we have the Avenger trait, which we do. Exhaust that to generate a wild resource. And I gave myself the encounter card, but I never shuffled. So we use those this turn. So shuffling here. Then we're going to bring in White Tiger. After we play her, we can spend a mental resource to remove 3 threat from a scheme. We're going to use the Quinn Carrier for that. Then she's going to come in and thwart for 3. Iron Man's going to thwart for 3. And then Ready. Then use our gauntlets, which now do 2 damage each. Going to be wasted. We're going to take out a mutate. And Iron Man will swing for 1 to take out Whiplash. Then I think it's time to flip over, and we'll see what we can top deck into. A Genius, Luke Cage, and an Energy. We'll take the Energy. So ending her turn. We'll keep both of those. Clea, Boots, Power, Protection times 2. Then we're going to keep her Spidey Sense, drawing 4 more. All right, there's Aunt May. The Genius, Physique, and Target acquired. So 2 threat going up to 4. Going to get her 3rd marker. Spider-Man's going to go looking for a friend. On to mutate. It's going to come in a quick strike for 2. Down to 5. Then Zola's going to attack. Get rid of Webbed Up. Become stunned. We're going to take 3 more damage. We'll take the 1 from the bio, and from that, Nick Fury will jump in the way. Then scheming over here for base 3. The villain is making an undefending attack. It's not an attack. So just 3, and then encounter cards. and an acceleration token. So we've got this shuffled. Of course, that guy had a scheme of 0. So here, we've got a mutate coming in, and he's going looking for a tech attachment. Nope, experimental weapon. So +2 hit points and guard. And over here, each player discards the top 5 cards of their deck. We're going to stop that from happening. So when a treachery card is revealed from the counter deck, cancel its when revealed effects. So we'll pay with that with our enhanced physique. Pass player. Use our ability. Black Widow. Some gauntlets and an energy barrier. Take the energy barrier. Then we're going to heal for 3. Flip over. And ready. Thwart for 3. Bring in an energy barrier. Bring in Clea. So when defeated, shuffle her into her owner's deck. Thwart 1, attack of 1. She will attack to get rid of toughness. White Tiger is going to thwart for 3. We're going to bring in our armor with the Quinn Carrier, giving us +6 hit points. So up to 14. Use our helmet to remove a threat. Then power gauntlets on the big guy. Use a helicarrier to make our next card cheaper to bring in target acquired. It's a hero response after a boost card is turned face up. Discard target acquired to cancel that card's boost ability. We are going to attack for 2. Flip over, use our free resource to bring in Aunt May and have her heal us for 4. Up to 8. Black Cat, swing for 1. And we are done. A lot of things to keep up with here. So we're keeping Genius for Peter Parker, the boots for Iron Man. So we're going to get 5 cards here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So a couple downtimes, Mockingbird, Power of Aggression, and a She-Hulk. Then 6 cards over here. War Machine, Supersonic Punch, Repulsor Blast, Endurance, Electra, and an Iron Fist. So 3 threat, token, ZOLA attacks over here, gets rid of stunned. This guy swings for 2. We will take 1 and redirect the other. Put that on ZOLA. So then scheming over here for base 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 10 out of 12. Counter cards. So the villain in each minion engaged with you attacks you. So Clea will jump in the way of the attack. So 3, 4 damage coming in. She'll get shuffled back in here. Then he swings for 2. We're going to take 1 and redirect 1 down to 30. Then over here, Exosuit. Villain's getting +1 scheme and attack. We can spend 1 of each resource to discard it. And pass first player. Aunt May heals us to 12. Going to use his resource along with these 3 to bring in She-Hulk. Thor to 2 attack of 1. She gets +1 attack for each damage token on her. So she will swing for 1 here. Black Cat will swing for 1 over here. Then we're going to flip over and attack for 2. Then use a downtime to put in a downtime for Iron Man. Going to bring in Elektra. Yep, we don't have enough. So use that as a wild or physical to deal 3 damage to an enemy. That will take him up to 7. I think, yep. Then we will swing for 3 over here. Discard a mental resource to get Aerial. Remove a threat from each scheme, or in this case, 1. Deal 2 damage to a minion with this or an enemy. Make sure I'm not putting stuff in the wrong spot. We use Mockingbird to attack for 1 to get rid of this servant. Then we're going to use this as a mental, physical energy to get rid of the Exosuit. Thwart for 3. Ready. Thwart for 3 more. Then we're going to do a Repulsor Blast on Zola. So hero action, deal 1 damage to an enemy, discard the top 5 cards of your deck. For each printed energy resource discarded this way, deal 2 additional damage to that enemy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's 2 more. So we're doing a total of 5 damage. Down to 25, and we get retaliated on for 1. Let's see, where are we sitting at here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yep, we'll use our barrier to redirect. And end our turn. So keeping this on this side, drawing 1, getting an encounter card, and shuffling. So 3 more cards. Backflip, Spidey Sense, and a drop kick. Then 7 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Counter card and shuffling. So we've got a barrier, Nova, awareness, Clea, Helicarrier, target acquired, and strength. Okay. 3 threat. Another token. Attacking over here. Drawn to a piercing strike. 3 damage coming in. Place a test counter on the main scheme. That goes up to 3. And we'll go ahead and just backflip out of that. Attacking over here. White Tiger will defend for 3, 4, 5. Counter cards. First one, ZOLA's Experiments. Force response after a minion enters play, attach the topmost tech attachment in the encounter discard pile to that minion. That's not good with 3 more cards coming up. Especially with him. So he's going to go searching for one and then get another one. So +2 hit points and guard. And the topmost tech. Another +2 points and double guard. Then ZOLA's getting Retaliate again. And Shadows of the Past. We're going to say no thanks on this one. Using the piercing strike to pay for it. And pass first player. All right. Energy and mental to get rid of the shield. We're going to bring in Nova for 4. 4-1 attack of 2. As an interrupt, when an enemy initiates an attack against you, spend an energy resource to deal 2 damage to that enemy. He's going to swing for 2 here. Electra is going to swing for 3. Thwart for 3. Ready. Thwart for another 3. Ping for 1. Remove a threat. So he's got 9 health. So She-Hulk will hit him for 2 more. Down to 8. Going to make our next card 1 cheaper. Play a Relentless Assault using a physical resource to deal 5 damage and overkill. So he will soak up 1. And the attack was on the guard unit. And overkill, excess damage from this attack is dealt to the villain. So we didn't attack the villain. It's just additional. So down to 20. Spider-Man will attack for 2, down to 18. And then down to 11. And we will end our turn. Keeping Genius. Discarding these 2. So we're getting 4 more cards over here. Dropkick, Nick, Webbed Up, and a Piercing Strike. 7 cards here. Endurance, Energy, a Blast, Barrier, Brother Voodoo, Pepper Pots, and Power Gauntlets. 3 threat. Get another token. We've got 3 or more. Taking 3 off. He's going to get a friend. So, Servant with Toughness. Then ZOLA attacks. We're going to discard an energy card to deal 2 damage to an enemy, down to 16. we will defend. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We block 1. Down to 8 health. To defend, deal 1 damage to the attacking character. Down to 15. Then that guy's going to hit us for 1 more, down to 7. Then attack on Spider-Man. We draw into a Tracer. He will defend. So 4 damage coming in, and we have a defense of 4. Some counter cards. Attach to the villain. If he takes damage, he gets tough. We can exhaust their hero. That's not going to happen. Spending 2 physical resources to get rid of it. And when revealed, deal 1 damage to each friendly character. Down to 10. Down to 6. 3. Black Cat goes out. Nova takes 1, and Elektra goes out. And we pass turn. All right, Spider-Man, Piercing Strike. Hero action, deal 3 damage to an enemy. This attack gains piercing. So remove the tough and do 3 damage. We're going to request some actions over here. So hero action, exhaust this to ready Iron-Man. Then we're going to exhaust our hero. Spend 2 physical resources. 1 there and 1 from our Quinn carrier to remove the armor. Then She-Hulk is going to attack for 4, down to 11. Make our next card 1 cheaper. Nick Fury's going to come in, and he's going to deal 4 damage to an enemy. Down to 7. Then he will attack for 2, down to 5. Then Tony will use this to deal damage to an enemy. Then we're going to do a repulsor blast. So 1, 2, 3, not good. 4, terrible. Repulsor blast for 1 damage. So energy for our power gauntlets. Mental resource to go flying. Power gauntlets for 2 damage. Actually, no, not yet. Nova swings for 2 damage. Take him down to 2. Then we can do this for 2 damage, which will be just enough to take him out. And since that finishes him, we are not retaliated on. So we won't be starting the next one at full health. So hopefully I didn't make too many mistakes there. But with our victory, each player engaged with an enemy records they are engaged with an enemy. Took care of all those. Hydra Prison was taken care of. So if it's not in play, each player in hero form may replace their basic condition, both in hero form. So over here, basic defense goes up to after you defend against an attack, exhaust this card to draw a card. And our basic thwart, after you defeat a side scheme, exhaust this card to draw a card. Then we will record our remaining hit points. So we're 10 for Spider-Man and 6 for Iron-Man. And for deck construction, for Spider-Man, 2 Power of Aggressions, Combat Training, 3 Relentless Assaults, 3 Piercing Strikes, 3 Drop Kicks, the Hulk, Tigra, Spider-Girl, She-Hulk, and Valkyrie. And basics, got our 3 resources, 3 enhanced physiques, Helicarrier, Lockjaw, Mockingbird, Nick Fury, 2 downtimes, and target acquired. And just figured Physical resources, put 2 in here, 1 for each of us. And you can guess where the endurances ended up. But for Iron Man, 2 power protection, 3 energy barriers, electrostatic armor, Iron Fist, Black Widow, Nova, Brother Voodoo, Luke Cage, Clea, and defensive stance. And resources. Got these 3 out of the basics. Quinn Carrier, Helicarrier, 2 enhanced awareness, Nick Fury, Mockingbird, then our 2 endurance cards, and a target acquired. That's my deck construction for Spider-Man and Iron-Man against ZOLA. As always, I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. So please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.